What motivates you more? Fear of loss or the possibility of gain? If you don't learn and use this finance strategy, you will lose 50% of the buying power of your income and savings. Think about that for a minute. This is real. Without using this finance strategy, opportunity cost will rob you three ways. It'll prevent you from gaining the compounding interest you could be earning. It'll rob you by means of high credit interest rates that you will pay without using the strategy. And it'll rob you of the use of your money for things that you would like to buy, but are afraid to or are reluctant to spend money on because of budgeting. If you do learn this strategy and put it to work for you, you will double the power of your money. You will grow your wealth with the highest compounding interest rate of any saving vehicle. You will create an emergency fund, and you will protect the financial future of your family. I guess there are really two types of people: those who gamble and those who don't. In reality, life is a gamble. That is, when you get out of bed in the morning, you're gambling that you won't immediately stub a toe or fall down and hurt yourself. Same thing when you step out of the house or get into your car and drive somewhere. There's an element of risk. But that's not the gambling I'm talking about. Does the possibility of gain motivate you to put a week's wages down on a craps table or roulette wheel? Or does the fear of loss keep you from dropping a couple dollars in a penny slot machine? Obviously, there are degrees or levels of risk each one of us are willing to take. For some, that willingness has no bounds. And those are the people that keep Las Vegas and Atlantic City booming. What I find interesting is that many people who are confirmed non-gamblers will willingly put the maximum allowable percentage of their hard-earned pay into a 401k at work. Why do I find that interesting? Because 401ks are typically invested in the stock market, and investing in stocks is gambling. Just look at the historical record. In the last 25 years alone, a large percentage of 401k accounts have lost 50% of their value, not just once, but 3 times. That's just in the last 25 years. Of course, that's not how they're presented. They're presented along with the promise that the account should grow by 8% per year and result in a retirement nest egg that can be relied on. That reality is that over the typically 30 years that a 401k is in place, the net gains realized will be more like 3% per year if it doesn't take a big hit just before or at retirement. But I'm not here to bash 401ks. No, what I've learned over the years is that there are a lot of people out there who love dishonest gain, commonly called scammers. It seems that the older generation, or Kapuna, are favorite targets of these scammers, and we see and hear warnings on TV and radio to beware of people trying to scare you into sending them money, pretending to be from the IRS or even your bank, or trying to get you to give them your social security number. But there are many others who present a so-called opportunity that has a very high risk of loss. But they only talk about the incredible gains or upside to the opportunity. They clearly are appealing to the gain motivator. For me, when I hear about opportunities that offer unusually great profits, especially for a relatively low investment, I see red flags. And by now, assume there's something fishy about it. In other words, my spidey scam sense begins to tingle and I become resistant. Resistant, but not entirely opposed. If the opportunity seems like there might be sound reason to it, but I just don't understand the whole picture, I'll investigate, learn more about it until I do understand enough to make an informed decision whether or not to get involved. Let me give you an example. When I first heard about the financial sweep strategy, I just couldn't get the full picture. And the way it was presented seemed too salesy and emotional. Part of me wanted to bite. That was the emotional part. But I needed much better understanding of the whole strategy and benefits before I would be willing to pay the $5,000 tuition that the presenter was asking for. In that particular instance, after doing the research, I discovered that the sweep strategy really is an excellent strategy, but also one that I did not have to pay someone or some group to hold my hand as I put the strategy into play. I did put it into practice, and my wife and I paid off 2 car loans using the strategy, and in the process saved something like $10,000 in interest. And we did it without paying the $5,000 tuition to the company that was selling the program. Learned some powerful stuff about types of interest in that process. So I believe that, like me, there are a lot of folks who automatically slam on the brakes when they're presented with an opportunity or strategy that they're unfamiliar with and sounds like it may be too good to be true. Obviously, I identify with that. But as I look back, it would have been really sad to learn after we had paid all that additional $10,000 of interest on our car loans that we could have saved all that money and used it for, say, vacation or even in a needed home repair. As it is, I really wish I had learned about infinite banking when I was in my 20s or even 30s. I know for a fact that I would be a multimillionaire today if I had, not wishful or regretful thinking. The numbers are available in the historical archives. And there's no point in regretting what never happened. But there is value in learning now what can save you a lot of grief and loss going forward. So again, if you don't learn and use this finance strategy, you will lose 50% of the buying power of your income and savings. Think about that for a minute. Seriously, without using this strategy, this finance strategy, opportunity cost will rob you 3 ways. It'll prevent you from gaining the compounding interest you could be earning. It'll rob you by means of the high credit interest you will pay without using the strategy. It'll rob you of the use of your money for things you would like to buy, but are afraid or reluctant to spend the money on because of budgeting. So, what is this strategy of which I speak? I call it the tax-free cash growth warehouse strategy. It is based on the infinite banking concept and incorporates cash flow principles and sweep strategy. It is built on a superior, guaranteed, compounding growth of the cash value of participating whole life insurance. But beware, there are people who will try to sell you the wrong type of life insurance and tell you that it is the right kind or even the best for infinite banking, but it is not. So it's important to work with someone who is actually experienced with, personally uses, and is qualified to help others with getting the correct type and design of policy in order to get the maximum benefits and advantages from the strategy. Learn everything you can about infinite banking. Then find a broker that specializes in infinite banking who will design the best account for your goals and will help you get going with using the strategy. I'm here to help, to educate about the strategy, to answer your questions, to design and construct an account that will best suit your needs and goals, and coach you in the application of the strategy. And if you have found this to be helpful, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also, please post your questions and comments here for a more complete explanation of the tax-free cash growth warehouse strategy. You can watch our free 60-minute webinar. The link is in the description box below here. The link to buy my books on Amazon.com is also below. If you'd like to book a free phone consultation with me, the link to my Calendly page is also below. If you'd like to apply to become a client of ours, the link to the application is below. We're here to help. We look forward to helping you. Aloha and mahalo for watching.